Yo, what's good? Welcome back to another episode of Canes Hills. This your boy Jeruz, and I'm glad you're joining me for another piece of content. I appreciate everybody who subscribed to the channel and commented. Man, it's been a blast. So today's video, we're pretty much going to talk about the competitive nature and if there are any players that are complacent and all the threats that's, lurking for them complacent players. Because I'm pretty sure Mario was selling to all the recruits, I want you to be a threat. That's what I would say. I go into a young man home, be like, look, if there's any complacent guys, I want to find out. And I want you, son, to come to University of Miami and be a threat to start day one. And these are some of the guys. And all the guys aren't freshmen that I want to talk about the threats. It could be a backup or somebody the next in line. All right, so we're going to go through it real quick. All right, it's not going to be a long one. This is a quarterback room. All right. The most complacent person on the team, I believe, is TVD. I hate to say it, because I'm rooting for TVD. Like my other videos, I'm rooting for him as a fan, but being non-biased and looking from the outside looking in, I feel like the NIL deals last season was a mulligan. Shoulder injuries, offensive line. It kind of took the pressure off him having a subpar season. So you got rewarded for a subpar season, which, because we wanted you to stay. Got an NIL deal, life wallet. So now what that does is like, yo, I got an NIL deal. I'm definitely the starter. So once you start thinking you the starter, you the starter, that's a little bit of complacency right there. Just a little bit. But it's just enough for a competitor like Jeruz Brown to become a threat. You get what I'm saying? You follow? It only takes a little bit of complacency from one player, and it takes the competitiveness from another player for that player to become a threat to the person that's complacent, which is TVD. And I believe Jeruz Brown is a competitor, and if he's working on the off season, he's going to be a threat to DVD. And this is going to be the one. And I hope it doesn't happen. I hope TVD is not complacent and he balls out and moves on. But if he is complacent and leaves anything for Jeruz Brown to come in and be a threat and take his spot by the end of the season, TVD probably gonna have to transfer. It's over for him. You know what I mean? It's over for him. And then we'll start the Jeruz Brown saga. You know what I mean? We'll start that. It almost started last year. And all the guys got to do is be competitive enough off the field as far as the film room, on the field, as in leadership. With leaders, you're a leader, you're alpha, bro. Like, you're going to be competitive with other leaders to gain the attention of others, to help lead. What if Jeruz Brown is a better leader than TVD? All right? Then it's going to start showing in the locker room. All right? Any kind of complacency. You can be complacent and being a leader by your body language on the field, how you interact with guys. TVD can't be complacent. This got to be his most competitive season in his life. And if he does do that, TVD going to the league, and then we're going to bring in Jakar. But if he don't do that and be complacent, what's going to happen is that's going to leave the door open for Jeruz Brown, which I feel like this whole offense is suited for anyway. I mean, TVD is going to thrive in it, but I really feel like Jeruz Brown is going to make it go. All right. I don't really see no complacent guys in the running back room. Anybody that we had complacent that was a running back, they're gone. Okay. They're probably gone because they were being complacent. You know what I mean? And the threat came in and took their spot. So running back room, we're good. Only threat I see to get major snaps is Javonte Citizen. All right, we move on. Wide receivers, they're pretty much penciled in on the 2 deep. You know what I'm saying? Young and X. But the other wide receiver spot, I don't know. It's wide open. All right. So the one guy that I feel like is a major threat is Nathaniel Joseph. Not just because of the talent, it's just because you knew what was already there before you got on campus, meaning Brashard Smith and X. Brashard Smith, awesome athlete. You know what I mean? Awesome athlete. X, workout king, Used to be TVD's safety blanket, his roommate. So, and I heard, he's a great practice player. So it's going to be hard to get them guys off the field. Just for Nathaniel Joseph still coming, with those two guys already present, you already know he's a competitive player. And if there's any complacency or opportunity, he's going to be the player that most presents a threat for the wide receiver group. As far as interior defense alignment, all right, the biggest threat I see is Harrison Hunt, because he does have some experience, and there's any complacency as far as practice, in game, a projected starter getting, it's kind of hard for him to read the playbook. It's a lot of ways to get on the field, different opportunities. If anybody's complacent in the interior defense alignment, the one person that I see is going to make a move is Harrison Hunt, or one of the two transfers, and Dean and Gore. All three of those are threats to the starting line, to the starting defensive line. All right, they all threats, because it ain't nothing gonna be two of those guys that's probably penciled in starters. That's Mesidor and LT. All right, so if there's any complacency, the rest of the three of those guys, Gore, Dean, and especially Harrison Hunt, they are all threats if they are competitors. If they're competitors, they're gonna be threats. Okay. All right, let's move on to the DBs and safeties. Cam, he's an awesome leader. That's who I want. That's who I would want leading any of my teams. No one's a threat to him. All right. Everybody else, it's gonna be some competition. It's gonna be some competition, man. Because you got transfers coming in, the Brown brothers, and you got the guy from Iowa. They bring experience. They gonna know how to handle different situations, different from guys that's just getting there. All right. And I'm pretty sure they all competitive. But if anybody was complacent in the DB side, it might be James. You know what I mean? And I'm one of the biggest James Williams fans ever, but the only person I really can feel like might be a little bit complacent, feel like they got their role solidified and coming in right after with a new defensive coordinator, which is kind of shaky. You either got to buy in or you're going to buy out. So it'll probably be James as far as the person I might say that's complacent. I'm the biggest James Williams fan. I want him to win. All right. But he might be just a little complacent just for being the unknown. And, he started the last 2 seasons. All right. So, and that's why I think they're probably going to move James around. And the biggest threat, I think, is Markeith Williams. I think Markeith probably going to end up, I think he's going to get on the field a little bit earlier than expected. I just feel like he can do it. He got all the tools to do. He got all the tools and do it. Now, if he's super competitive, he gonna get on the field when there's the opportunity. But the one threat I feel like can come and do something will be Markeith. Simple fact, because I feel like they're gonna move James to another position anyway. And another threat is Caleb Spencer. He might even be a threat to the linebacker unit, which I'm not gonna talk about. Other than the major threat in the linebacker room is probably gonna be Francisco. He gonna be a threat to just come in and be the alpha straight up as far as the linebacker room. Even though Wesley took strides and he started at the end of the season, Francisco got the size too, and he's cerebral, and he already has experience. So the linebacker room, I say the biggest threat is Francisco Marigold. All right. I did not talk about the offensive line. As far as the offensive line, we already got 3 starters pretty much with Lee, Cohen, and Nelson. But the other 2 spots, we got guys that was here last year, and then we got 2 5-star studs who gonna be duking it out. Who gonna be complacent? Who's not gonna know the playbook? Somebody's gonna slip up. Again, like I was saying at the beginning of the show, I feel like Mario, when he was recruiting, he pretty much told the guys that he was recruiting, like, look, somebody ain't gonna show up. Somebody gonna slip up on the film room, on the practice field. They're not gonna bring it every day, and that's gonna give you an opportunity to be a threat to take somebody's job. Who is that person? Who are these people that's gonna come in and surprise us? Once you be competitive in a competitive environment, anybody that's complacent is gonna get pushed out the door, because the competitive person is gonna become a threat and gonna take his spot. It's just simple. You know what I mean? It's just simple. But I want to know who are some of you guys' threats, and you let me know in the comments, because I probably missed somebody. You know what I mean? I just thought about this. I was like, dang, It's a lot of dudes that could be threats on the team this year. I want you guys to let me know any of that I missed, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in to another episode of Canes and Hills. You feel me? Go Canes.